At their 2025 annual meeting, the Southern Baptist Convention didn't just discuss theology. They drew new lines in the sand on some of today's most personal issues. What is the deep spiritual meaning behind their controversial new stances? You're about to discover the spiritual principles driving the SBC's focus on everything from sports betting to willful childlessness, and what this reveals about the future of faith in our modern world. If you seek to understand the meaning behind major spiritual movements, quickly tap that subscribe button and the all notification bell. We decode the headlines. The Southern Baptist Convention, one of America's largest Protestant denominations, is making waves. Their 2025 meeting has brought forth resolutions on a host of modern social issues. For those within the SBC, these aren't just political statements. They are declarations rooted in deeply held spiritual convictions and biblical interpretations. The focus on issues like pornography and sports betting stems from a theological concern with stewardship, purity, and avoiding worldly temptations they believe are spiritually destructive. The spiritual meaning here is a call to holiness and a protection of the soul from perceived corrupting influences. But this is where it gets even more intriguing and controversial for the wider culture. The focus on same-sex marriage is based on their interpretation of Scripture defining marriage as exclusively between a man and a woman, seen as a foundational, God-ordained institution. And the introduction of a resolution on willful childlessness is particularly striking. From a spiritual perspective, this likely stems from biblical injunctions to be fruitful and multiply, and a theological view of family and procreation as a core part of God's plan for humanity. It symbolizes a profound commitment to a specific traditional vision of family and purpose. So, what is the overarching spiritual meaning of these resolutions? They represent a powerful effort by a major religious body to define and defend its moral and spiritual boundaries in a culture they perceive as increasingly secular and adrift from its biblical foundations. It's an act of faith preservation and a prophetic call to their members and the world to adhere to what they believe is a more righteous path. This isn't just about rules, it's about a comprehensive worldview and a vision for a godly society. The spiritual drive is to be a distinct light, a city on a hill, rather than blending in with contemporary cultural norms. However, this also creates significant spiritual and cultural friction. For outsiders, and even for some members, these stances can be seen as judgmental, exclusionary, or an attempt to legislate a specific morality on a pluralistic society. This highlights a timeless spiritual tension. How does a faith community live out its convictions authentically while coexisting respectfully with those who hold different beliefs and values? It's a profound dialogue about the role of religious influence in personal choice and public life. We're exploring the spiritual worldview that shapes these powerful cultural statements. If understanding the why behind different faith perspectives is important to you, hit that like button. It shows you value this deep, respectful analysis. And stay with me, because this tells us something critical about spirituality in 2025. The rise of these specific resolutions in 2025 reflects a broader trend of religious conservatism seeking to reassert its voice in public life. It's a response to a world of fluid identities and shifting moral landscapes, an attempt to provide clear, unwavering answers based on their interpretation of sacred texts. The spiritual meaning is one of seeking certainty and order in a world perceived as chaotic. So, the deeper spiritual truth, the powerful essence of the SBC's 2025 resolutions, crystallizes into this. It is a profound and determined expression of a spiritual worldview, striving to maintain its distinctiveness and apply its sacred truths to modern life as a form of prophetic witness and community preservation. Understanding this allows us to see these headlines not merely as a culture war, but as a deeply felt spiritual effort to navigate the complexities of the 21st century with an unwavering commitment to a specific theological framework. It challenges all of us to consider where our own moral and spiritual lines are drawn and how we engage with those who draw them differently. Did this exploration of the spiritual meanings behind the SBC's resolutions offer you a new layer of understanding? What does this movement signify to you about the future of faith and culture? Share your thoughtful insights in the comment section below. Your voice matters in this dialogue. If this deep dive has illuminated your path, please honor that by liking this video. And if you haven't already, become part of our circle of seekers by subscribing to Spiritual Meanings and activating all notifications. Click it now. We have so much more to explore together. Thank you for joining us on this important discussion. May your understanding continue to expand and your spirit navigate these complex currents with wisdom and grace.